Unit 4, Lesson 15, determining if an ordered pair is a solution to a system. Alright, our two objectives for today is the first to be able to determine if a given point is a solution to a system, and second to be able to find the solution to a system when given a graph. Before we actually get into things, I think it's important to define a couple things. A system of equations, as you could read, is a collection of two or more equations with the same set of unknowns. In solving a system of equations, we try to find values for each of the unknowns that will satisfy every equation in the system. So if there's two equations or two lines, alright, we're looking for the point that works for both equations. A solution to a system is the one point that works for all of the equations in the system. When looking at the graphs, it's the point where the two lines will meet. Alright, so these two words are very important. We have to understand the difference and what they are. Alright, so example 1 is going to be really simple. Okay, we are asked to state the solution to the given systems. So part A is we're looking at graph 1. Alright, once again, the solution to a system when looking at a graph, alright, when looking at a graph, the solution was where the two lines cross. So right here, okay, and all we have to do is write that ordered pair. So they cross at the point 2, 2. That is the solution to that system. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Alright, graph number 2 is meeting right there. Alright, it's a little bit off actually, but that's the drawing should be right there. And that's at negative 1, 1. Alright, let's take a look at graph number 3. Again, we're looking for where the two lines meet, the green line and the red line. Alright, and they both meet right where I highlight it, right here, at the point negative 2, negative 2. And finally, the last one, alright, is meeting right there. And again, that point is going to be negative 1 and negative 1. So reading it from a graph should be very simple. Alright, just looking where the two lines cross. Alright, our second objective for today is to be able to determine if a given point is a solution. And the way we do that is, this is something we've done before with points, alright, but now there's two lines. What we're going to do is plug in each point. Whoops, what am I doing? That should be a y, x, y. Alright, so we plug it into the first equation, 2 in for y, 2 in for x. That is true, so it checks. We go to the next one. 2 in for y, 2 in for x. This one requires a little bit of simplifying. Half of 2 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 equals 2. That checks. So yes, 2, 2 is the solution. Because it works for both. Alright, let's look at example B. Alright, I'm going to plug in, again, this is x, this is y. Let me get a different color here for this. I have 5, I'm going to do the first one, equals negative 3 plus 8, which is 5 equals 5. So that one checks. We're going to do the second equation now. Alright, 5 goes in for y. I have 4 times 3 minus 1. That's 12 minus 1. That's 11. 5 does not equal 11. So we're going to say that no, 3, 5 is not the solution. Not no solution, okay? Very important to understand. It doesn't mean that there is no solution. It just means that this one point is not the solution. Alright, example C. Again, plug in our points where they belong. So I have 2 times negative 3 minus 4 equals 10. So that's negative 6 minus 4. That's going to be negative 10. Negative 10 does not equal 10. We don't even have to check the second point. Alright, we could go right ahead and say that no, negative 3, 4 is not the solution. And finally, the last one. Again, we plug in our point 0, 5, 0 for x, 5 for y. That's going to be 0 minus 25, which is negative 25. Negative 25 is negative 25. We check on the first one. If we check on the first one, we have to check the second one. So I have 5 equals 3 times 0 plus 5. Anything times 0 is 0. Plus 5 is 5. So we check, that works. So what that means is if I were to graph these two equations, all right, those two lines would cross at 0, 5 because 0, 5 is the solution. All right, see you in class tomorrow.